Hello, everybody. My name is Kimberly Annette Bodie. I made the hashtag KAB for my initials, and hopefully you'll join me in my journey. So, first and foremost, I have lupus, and I was diagnosed in 2020. And let's see, change this a little bit. That's better. So I have discoid lupus, which is the skin form of lupus. You tend to get a butterfly rash or dryness around this area. I get different type of scalp issues, so that's why I mainly wear twists. Have issues with my legs and back with skin issues. So think of like a ringworm type circular rashes. That's what I have. Everybody's different, but it'll raise up and be red and itchy and just really irritating. But this chat today is about Raynauds. So have you ever heard of Raynauds? Probably not. I had never heard of Raynauds myself. I learned about Raynauds actually before they figured out the lupus. I learned about the Raynauds. So I had went in for a double mastectomy surgery. I had the double mastectomy surgery because I had an fibroid embedded in my uterus that had calcified and died. They did the full hysterectomy to get that removed, but since the fibroid had calcified and died, it had weighed 5 pounds, which made my body believe I was pregnant, which stretched my uterus to 11 weeks, and it was leaning on my spine, causing me issues with walking, issues with urinating because it was leaning on my bladder, and my breast decided that they wanted to lactate because it thought I was pregnant. So my breast had turned completely black, felt hard like little tampons within them. That time I was a 46H, and I decided to get the full mastectomy because when they learned of that issue, it was March of 2020, which the world closed. I had my hysterectomy just in time before the world shut down. But since the breast issue was on the outside of my body, it wasn't deemed, what do they say? For a lack of a better word, important. So I didn't get the double mastectomy till July. By then, the tissues died. There was a little bit of tissue left, but not enough for me to keep them. So I had the option of, doing cosmetic surgery as far as getting my breasts done or, leaving an opening for future if I changed my mind. But my whole frame of thought was the breasts are for a baby if you had a baby. And you already took my uterus, so what I need the breast for? Comments were made from various medical staff. Well, when you take the breast, a lot of women feel themselves being a woman because of their breast. I said, well, shoot, I'm single, no kids, never been married. The breast ain't doing nothing for me as a woman, apparently, okay? So I'll take them. And plus, I have been in pain since January. You take everything that's hurt me out, off, whatever. So going for the double mastectomy during COVID. So that was interesting to be alone waiting. But I made it through. Come out, wake up from the surgery. My mom comes to pick me up. And my fingers started turning blue. My hands were cold. My feet were cold. My mom said she did not want to take me home because that's not the way she brought me in there. She was not taking me home that way. They took my temperature. Temperature was okay, but you could clearly see my fingertips turning blue. They gave me a cup of tea to hold and to drink to try to change the temperature. Nothing was happening. So they made the decision to keep me overnight. They gave me a doctor to look into what was going on. He couldn't figure out. He was going through all types of journals and things of that nature. They packed me with blankets, put a machine on me to keep heat on me, but I was still shivering and cold. It became to the point that I couldn't feel my hands or my feet. So finally, the doctor figured out Raynauds. And generally, when you get Raynauds, it says the white boy hockey disease, because generally a lot of white boys that play hockey have it. So with me, it took about a day for them to get my temperature correct and that I could feel my fingers and move my feet and things of that nature. So as I've been progressing, I've had it since 2020. I've run into instances because I take public transportation, or I take the bus and the metro because I'm in Maryland. I would be getting on the train and I couldn't feel my feet. It's like I knew I could tell my body to move, but I couldn't feel my feet. It's because if I get a slight chill, it happens a lot in the winter. If I get a slight chill, it'll just pop off. So I had to start taking those little things you put on your gloves to keep your hands warm and things of that nature. It was real cold in my office, so a friend of mine bought me a chair blanket, it's called, so I could keep warm, because as soon as that chill even hits, my hands and feet just freeze up and I can't use them. So one of the blood pressure medicines I'm on is called amlodipine, and it helps with the Raynauds as well. So that has been an awesome find that my rheumatologist recognized. So that has been helping, but it can be irritating at times because I can't drink a cold beverage. Like when you go to the restaurant, they bring you a glass of water, I have to say no ice. But some restaurants have frosted glasses. Some restaurants have their water extremely cold already, so I still can't drink it. When you want to go get ice cream, I can't hold the ice cream. Like if you go in the grocery store to get the pint, I can't hold it. I have to get those little teeny single serve one, and I have to eat it very fast, holding a napkin. So it becomes to the point where you don't even want it anymore. I'm trying to think of another example of when I've run into it, but it's once you get a hold of making sure you're warm at all times, it becomes good. My mom's former coworker had bought me a heating blanket that had the foot pocket in it. That changed my life, because I would sit in my recliner, and if it's just your hands and your feet that's cold, so you got all this stuff on you. But I started doing like just socks and my hands, gloves, but then I would get hot, so it was like, but with that blanket I could just fold it halfway up, put my feet in my foot pocket, the foot pocket of that blanket, and do like this with my hands, or hold a cup of tea or things of that nature. So that was great. But with lupus, it can trigger different things, but at that point, like I stated, they didn't even know that I had lupus. They hadn't even found it yet. The Raynauds was something that just happened after my double mastectomy surgery. So prayers to all of you that have Raynauds, prayers to all of you that have lupus, prayers for all of us in this autoimmune disease community. It's hard, but if we just stand together and share our stories, we'll realize there's more of us out there. You're not alone. I love you. Let's connect. Let's be friends. We can all do it. Hope you're having an awesome Monday. Get up, move, do something. And if nobody told you today, I love you. God loves you. We all love you. Give me a high five. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.